What's up, guys? It's your boy Stevie G coming back at you with another episode of the Seamless Garage Podcast. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the podcast, my name is Stevie G yet again. I am a ASE certified master technician along with being a Nissan master technician. That means that I've got all certifications required to be an automotive master technician, master of my craft. Along with Nissan, I was able to satisfy Nissan's needs for a master technician, completing all their courses and all that good stuff. And that being said, I've been a Nissan master technician for at least 5 years. So I've been in the field for quite a while. If you're new to the channel, it's all things automotive related. Basically, mechanics advice, just talking about performance cars, sports cars, automotive news. We do interviews. So basically, we've got 4 different segments that we do on this channel. One of them is called From Apprentice to Master. That's where I'm going to give you tips that will help you become a better technician, tips that will get you from apprentice to master, obviously, right? I can also get you out of express, but we just wanted to call it From Apprentice to Master. I can help you make more money in the field. We're going to get you faster. We're going to get you better versed in the field as far as becoming a better all-around technician, making you a master technician. I'll give you everything you need when it comes to knowledge and stuff. It's up to you to go out there and apply it. The other segment is called Shop Talk, and that's when usually I'll be out at the shop, and it'll just be a random topic that I'm thinking about, and we'll just go through it. And basically, I'll tell you what I think about the topic, and we'll kind of have a little discussion. Even though you're not there to respond, you can respond by commenting below if you're on the YouTube channel, or by hitting me up on a DM, The Real Stevie on Instagram, or hit us up on the Seamless Garage Instagram, Seamless Garage Facebook, and then also you can hit us up on TikTok on the Seamless Garage as well. Another segment is auto news. So when something new comes out, some kind of news for the automotive related stuff, I'll bring it to you, and then I'll tell you what I think it means for the industry. I'll tell you what I think it means for mechanics, and I'll tell you what I think it means for anybody that cares about cars, and we'll go through that as well. And you can comment below on what you think about that. The final segment is called Direct Port Interview. I call it Direct Port. It's automotive related. It's because you're getting it straight from the source. It's interviews. So it's going to be interviews with mechanics, interviews with new aspiring mechanics, or people that just have questions, right? It's going to be interviews with service writers, service advisors, interviews with shop owners, fabricators, tuners, all that kind of stuff. Interviews with parts guys. And so hopefully I can get some interviews with some GMs of some dealerships and service directors and stuff like that, and bring it to you. That way you can get a full well-versed mindset on what it is in the dealership, like how everybody's thinking, how they do their day-to-day, what they think about the field going forward, and all that good stuff. If all that sounds good to you, if you don't mind, please click that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, please click that follow button. If you're on Spotify or any of the podcast platforms, and if you end up liking this episode, make sure that you like the episode. We appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into what this episode is all about. Alright guys, this episode is going to be From Apprentice to Master episode, talking about properly using your scan tool, any kind of scan tool. This is just generic scan tool talk, and why I think you should be using it properly, and giving you some tidbits on how to use it properly. Things that you should be doing in order to get more versed in using the scan tool. The first thing is getting familiar with it, man. Let's make sure that we're not scared to use it. I understand. You can get scared because you hop into a shop. Maybe it's not the one you own. Maybe you don't own a scan tool. You hop into a shop and there's scan tools available to you, whether it be a dealership where it's manufacturer specific, or whether it's a snap-on scan tool, whatever that may be available to you. But the senior technicians are going to be like, hey man, don't damage this thing. Hey man, don't mess it up. And it's going to be like, whoa, I don't want to touch it. You know what I mean? I don't want to break it. But that's not what they mean. They just mean take care of it. What take care of it means is put it back when you're done with it. Put it back right. Store it properly. Make sure that it's up to date. If you see that it needs an update, make sure you update it. You know, if it's one of those roll around styles, like if it's a dealership style, make sure that it's good and clean. Like make sure you ain't got any of your trash on there, any of your printouts left on there. You know what I mean? Take care of that. But with that being said, don't be scared to use that thing. I understand that if you start using it and you're unfamiliar with it, somebody comes up, you're gonna get self-conscious about it and go, you know what I mean? It's gonna freak you out or whatever. Some people will, some people won't. But if you're the type that's kind of scared to use it, I would like to invite you to go ahead and get using your scan tool that's available to you. If you've got the money available, get you a scan tool, get you a scanner, not a DTC reader. Get you a scanner, Snap-on, whatever brand you like, Matco, you know, whatever. There's a lot of brands that aren't Shop Truck brands that are really good, from what I hear. So with that being said, I just would like to encourage you to use your scan tool that's available to you. Like, get your hands on it. The reason being is the more you use it, the better you're going to get at it. Obviously, it's like that with anything else. When you first started turning wrenches, you weren't any good at it. You know what I mean? Like when you first literally put a wrench in your hand, you're like, what do I do with this? It was kind of weird. You probably looked weird. People were laughing at you, right? Your grandpa, your dad, whoever was laughing at you because it looked weird in your hands. But you got over that, right? And you got better. So you need to be skilled in all things in this field. So we might as well go ahead and embrace this, right? Like, if you are listening to this right now and you're on this channel right now, that means that you want to be the best technician that you can be. Ultimately, you want to be a master tech, right? Like, you want to be the best that you can be. Well, in order to do that, you're going to need to be well versed in everything that comes to you. Any tool that's available to you, you need to know how to use, because there's a chance that you're going to use it. And you want to truly be a master, you master all skills that are in your field. I hope you understand that. It's not just a label that's slapped on you after you've put some time in. Like, you truly need to master everything in the field. That way, when it comes to diagnostic time, when it comes to repair time, when it comes to talking to customers, when it comes to helping apprentices, you've got all the answers. You don't always have to have all the answers, bro. Like, you're not going to be Mr. Smart. You can't just answer everything. But I'm saying you should be able to know how to use all the tools that are available to you, okay? This is what I'm saying. You get on that thing, man. You get on the scan tool and you learn all the functions that it has. You get in there and you try out everything. You try everything on. Okay, and it doesn't matter. It could be on a good vehicle. It doesn't have to be on a vehicle that has a DTC. It doesn't have to be on a vehicle that has any kind of drivability problem. But if you've got time, let's say you only got a couple of cars to look at, or maybe you don't have any, pull that scan tool out and let's see what everything does. You know what I mean? Let's see what is available to us. Okay, I got some bullet points here. That's why I keep looking back. Start to realize how all the functions and the data can help you diagnose and repair a vehicle. That comes with looking at what is available, okay? Some of you may not even know that you can program keys with a scan tool. Now remember, it's got to be the right make and model, and it's got to be the right scan tool, okay? But sometimes you can. So you can program keys, like especially a dealership scan tool, you can program keys. We can do reprograms, which means we can update control modules. Very important that you know that you can do that. Very important that you know how to update them. You need to know what is required when updating them. For instance, battery voltage has to be at a certain level, right? You need to turn off any kind of parasitic draws to the battery. You need to make sure Bluetooth is off, all kind of stuff like that, right? You'll learn, it'll be make and model specific, okay? But that is something that you need to know. You also need to know how to use the scan tool when it comes to diagnosing, right? Like it's not just a DTC scanner. People will take this $2, $3, $4, $5,000 scanner, and they're just reading codes. And after that, they set it down, and then they're like, "Oh, all right, I've got my codes. What's wrong with this car?" A lot of the answers are in that scan tool. And it's not like the customers think. It's not like, "Oh, we'll just hook it to the computer and it'll tell you what's wrong with it." Okay, Mr. Customer, I'll hook the computer up for you. This is a tangent, by the way, but I'll hook the computer up for you. I'll show you the code, and I'll show you the data. And you tell me what's wrong with it then, if it's that easy. Just tell me what's wrong with the car. Oh, wait, you came in and it's a drivability issue and you don't have any DTCs, but it's running rough. I'm going to show you the data, Mr. Customer. Tell me what's wrong with it then, if we can just hook the computer up to it. So when, this is a little tangent, but if you are a technician or you're becoming a technician or you're on your way or a master, whatever you are, if you ever hear a customer say that or you ever hear any kind of random say that to you, just go ahead and tell them the facts, man. Go ahead and tell them off, because they think that it's easy to be in our field. They think it's easy to do what we do, but at the end of the day, they brought it to us to look at, right? They could have took it to O'Reilly's. They could have took it to AutoZone. Some of them do. Some of them take it there and get a DTC, and they come in and they have us diagnose it. But the fact is, they have us diagnose it. A lot of times they'll go there. They'll go to an O'Reilly's or something. They will get a code for something, right? Let's say it's a PO 420 code. They replaced the cat, and guess what? It's still setting the code. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, man, I didn't think about that. Yeah. It's just a DTC, right? So if that's something that maybe you don't understand, realize that DTCs are simply to get you in the right direction. That does not mean that that component has failed. That just means that component is sending out bad readings. So you need to figure out what affects the readings of that sensor before you ever just replace the sensor. All right, tangent over, but that's that. Okay. Anyway, hop at the scan tool, man. Learn how to use this stuff. It's going to help you diagnose. Like I said, it's all in the scan tool. A lot of that is that if you know what you're doing, you can find out what's wrong with it really quick. That goes to my last bullet point here, or my third bullet point. Using the data monitor to diagnose the vehicle. Okay. What I'm going to say about that is if you don't know what the data is, you can't diagnose the vehicle. All right, cool. I'm going to help you get out of that problem. When known good vehicles come in, this works really good for dealerships because you're going to be dealing with the same vehicles all the time. But let me tell you right now, when it comes to OBD2, a lot of your vehicles, data is going to be similar. Okay. From manufacturer to manufacturer, it may be a little bit different. They may read just a little bit different, but it's going to be very similar. So a lot of times you can hop in that data monitor and tell what's wrong right off the rip. So use a known good vehicle and get used to looking at regular values. Like you're in there like checking a DTC for something. Just hop on over to data monitor real quick. Go through there and see what's valuable to you. Like look and see what's normal while the engine's running. Oh, this is normal TPS signal. Okay, this is what normal O2 looks like. This is what O2 voltage looks like. Okay, max airflow sensor. Look at all your sensors and look what normal looks like. Yes, you can hop in your service manual and you can get some of this data. Not always, but a lot of times you can. And I will tell you that you'll find that sometimes in the service manual, the data is not the same as what a known good vehicle is. A lot of times it is, but a lot of times it is not. So getting used to what a normal vehicle runs like and the data monitor shows in your region, because the heat makes a difference, the elevation makes a difference, all of that makes a difference. Get used to what normal is. And I'm telling you, this is a trick that will just blow you up, because the next time you have a problem and there's not a DTC, but the car is running rough or it's having a problem, you can look at that data and you might be able to find out what's wrong with it just like that, because you know what data is supposed to look like. And the control module is a little bit slow on picking up that something's wrong, right? So that's a tip that that's a little secret tip that a lot of people don't know. That's a real easy one that will that will change the game for you. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, I don't want this episode to go too long. I just want to get to the point. I want to encourage you, and hopefully you hop out there today and get going on that scan tool, man. Why this will level your game up. I want to tell you that because it's important that you know why this levels your game up. One of them is already diagnosing without a DTC. That one you already know. But this will take you from zero to hero when it comes to your dealership. This, if you're hopping from one dealership to another to find your home, this is going to impress so many people. And we're not all about impressions, but impressions are good when it comes to getting more work, feeling like you're being reliable. Those type of things that will find you a really good home, and people will ride with you. You know what I mean? People will actually ride with you and have your back when something hits the fan. A customer's disappointed in a repair you made or something like that. They'll have your back on it, right? Because you're going to have customers that think they're smarter than you and are going to challenge your diagnosis. So just get ready for that. But here's the other deal with it. Knowing all of that in the scan tool, knowing your data monitors, all of that, you can show your work and your story whenever you send through for your diagnosis and your repair that you want to do. You'll have all that to back up. That way your service writer can answer all those questions before that customer ever gets to you. Okay, because those questions will be answered in your story most of the time if you write your story properly. Okay, that's another key. It's another key to being a master tech. That's another thing that separates a mediocre technician from a good master technician. Is the story is phenomenal, and I can diagnose off of that story. Right. Anyway, you'll be able to use tools that are available to you. You will know more than 9% of the field from sheer effort. Meaning that just because you haven't used that tool yet, you still know how to because you've actually put it on a vehicle and tried it out and did some things to it. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 YF machines, all your AC machines, your transmission machines, all of the tools that are available to you. You know how to use at this point if you're following the advice I'm telling you, and it's going to take you to the next level. Like I said, because it doesn't matter what shop you go to, you will see that a lot of the guys don't know how to use half of the equipment. And if you know how to use all the equipment, you just separated yourself from the rest of the field, meaning you're going to be the go-to guy. And trust me, you want to be the go-to guy because when times get hard and times get slow, you're still getting work, bro. Like you're still getting work done. You're still getting work thrown at you. You're still making money while the rest of the guys are kind of sitting back because they're a one-trick pony. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, your service writers, your service managers, the dealership, the customers, up-and-coming apprentices and stuff like that are going to love you. They're going to absolutely love you because you've put time in the game, you've put effort in the game, and why not? If you're here, why else are you here if you don't want to be the best at what you do and you don't want to be a master, okay? Like I said, if you're listening to this podcast, or you're watching this video, you gotta want to be the best that you can be. You gotta want to be the master technician. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking for advice, or you wouldn't be looking for advice on how to get better. Okay. So with that being said, there's no reason for you to not do it. There is no reason for you to not get out there, get after it, learn your scan tool. Okay. That way you're showing old heads how to use it. You know what I'm saying? I got so good at, I'm not trying to brag or nothing. I just love this field. I absolutely love this field. It's what I was made for. I was born into it, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, there hasn't been like a true automotive technician that like did it for a living, but everybody turned wrenches. So that's how I learned. But when I hopped into UTI, because I went to UTI when I went straight out of high school, I already knew what I was doing, okay? I already knew a lot about the cars, and so I elevated that. But I took it and I ran with it because it's what I love to do. Like, I absolutely love to turn wrenches. When I'm not at the dealership, a lot of you guys already know, if you already listen to the channel or you already check out the channel, I have a shop with a lift in it, and we build project cars. I got an Eagle Talon right now, a 91 DSM. All-wheel drive. I completely rebuilt the engine. I'm talking about from rings, bearings, everything. Honed the cylinders myself. All of that. Built the heads myself. I rebuilt the whole thing myself. Okay. I had a buddy. We did a LS swap in. We did a K swap in an EF hatchback Civic. So when I'm not at work, and I'm not with my family, I'm out there doing that. Like, that's how much I love turning wrenches. I'm not one of the guys that just turns wrenches for a living, and then when I'm off, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it, don't want to deal with it. I love doing it, and I hope you're the same way. Okay, I really hope that's you, because in order to be the best in this field, you're gonna have to love it. You're gonna have to have a passion for it. Yeah, some days it's gonna be rough. Yeah, some days you're gonna want to go home. You're tired of your service manager's crap, or you're tired of service rider's crap, or you've had a car that you've had for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and it seems like you can't figure out what's wrong with it, or you keep doing repairs and stuff keeps happening because it's an old car with 300,000 miles on it. Stuff keeps breaking while you're fixing it. There's going to be those days, but those are the days you have to push through, and that's discipline. Okay, I won't get too far on that, but that's discipline. Anyway, you still got to do it because it's your passion, man. So if you're like me, and this is why you're watching this video, get out there and do it and be the best at it. All right, I want to see some of these guys out here killing it. I want to see y'all killing it. And I want to see some stories later on when you've moved up and got to where you wanted to be. I want to hear about it. All right. With that being said, if you want to support the channel, we've got a website. It's seamlessgarage.myshopify.com. Okay, you can go on there. You can buy merch, shirts like this. We got the new shirt out, everything full throttle. We got hats of all different kinds. Okay, all different designs. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. That's going to help us bring more info to you and hopefully get out to some more events and showcase those as well and get some better guys on here for interviews, some guys that may be harder to get. But with that being said, it's been your boy Stevie G, and this is the Seamless Garage Podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode. I'm out.